Okay, with this video, I actually had it already worked out, so I'm just going to kind of talk you through. But the directions said find all points on the curve where the tangent line is horizontal. Okay, so what you may not know is that a line is horizontal when its slope is 0. So anytime I ask you to find where a tangent line is horizontal, that means the slope is 0. So horizontal lines occur when the slope is 0, so what you're going to do is set your derivative equal to 0. So I took the derivative of this function at the top, so I brought down my 2. 3 times 2 gives me 6x. When I took the derivative of negative 2x, I got a negative 2, and I set that equal to 0. So 6x minus 2 equals 0, and I solved that out, and I got that x equals 1/3. Well, you'll notice up there it said all points. So it doesn't just want x equals 1/3, it wants the point. So the way that points work, of course, is that you have the 1/3 is your x value, and then you need a y value. So to find your y value, you plug into the original. So my original function was 3x squared minus 2x minus 4. So you can see I plugged the 1/3 in there and I solved it out. And once I solved it out and did all the math, I got an answer of negative 4 1/3, and that was my y value for that one. So anytime I ask you when the tangent line is horizontal, you take the derivative, because that's your slope, and you set that derivative equal to 0 and solve it out. Okay, in your next example, I give you another function and I say find the points where the tangent line has slope 60. So your derivative is the slope of the tangent line, and I want that derivative to equal 60. So what I did here in the first is I took the derivative of that cubic function at the top. Now, let me put a little mark here. So when I took the derivative, let me erase part of this where we can start back over with it. My derivative was 6x squared minus 6x minus 12. In the problem, it says find the slope, find the points where it equals 60. So I took that derivative and I set it equal to 60, and that's what I did in this step. So now then we have to solve it out, and the way that you solve it out is you're going to bring the 60 over so that you can factor it. So you get 6x squared minus 6x minus 72. Now this one's a little tricky to factor because it has a greatest common factor. Everything has a 6. So I can take a 6 out, and that leaves me with x squared minus x minus 12. And when we factor that, we're going to get x minus 4 and x plus 3. Now to set that part equal to 0, the 6 is just a coefficient, so you could divide by 6 on both sides and your 6 would go away. So then you just set your pieces equal to 0. X minus 4 equals 0 and x plus 3 equals 0. So my points would start with x being 4 and x being negative 3. Okay, so up here you see I'm going to have x value as a point of 4 here and an x value with negative 3 in this one. But remember, you have to go back and find y, and the way that you find y is you plug into the original. So over here on this right side of the screen, I take 4 and I plug it in. So when I plug it in, I should get an answer of 36. So 1 point would be 436. I then take negative 3 and I plug it into the function, and when I plug it into the function I get a value of negative 41. So the 2 points, this one has 2 points, the 2 points where the tangent line has slope 60 are those 2 points.